Hello everybody and welcome to another fun-filled Tuesday night live. I'm Demo Donna and bringing you some fabulous Queen and Company products. Super excited to be here. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. I am going to be having fun with some of our fabulous foundation dyes, a sentiment stacker set, and a really great paper trio. Hello everybody. Thanks for popping on and joining me tonight. It's exciting to mix things up and dig into the archives. I mean, most of the stuff's still pretty new, but pulling different things together to create really fun cards. So tonight I'm going to show you how to create a shadow box. And I am going to be using the foundation die set number 16. Now there are 6 dies in this die set, and I'm going to be using 3 of them. And basically, here are the 3 I'm not using. So it's the rounded edges, the scalloped edge, and this label die. And then the 3 dies that I am using to create this shadow box are not letting me pick them up, are these guys. So the 5.5 by 5.5, and then this one seems to be like a 1/4 inch smaller, and then the smallest one. So these 3 dies are what I'm using to create our shadow box. And I definitely recommend you to flip through all of your foundation dies and see what other fun layers you can come up with to create a shadow box. Like 8 and 3 would be really fun as well. So that gives you enough space to add some of our foam to lift that up, that frame around your shadow box. And then this is a perfect time to pull out all of these extra foam pieces that you've been saving. And that is how I created these lovely little strips here, by just cutting off all of the ends. And then you have perfect little strips to create your shadow box. So to get started, we're gonna move this little guy out of the way. And I'm hoping to create 2 of them this evening. I've done a lot of prep work, so I'm assuming we're gonna have time to do that. But we shall see, you never know. Okay, so the first large piece here is the largest number 16. So that's the 5.5 by 5.5. And that is going to be the foundation, the base of your shadow box. And now the next step is you're gonna take the 2 smaller ones. So remember there are 3, and the 5.5 by 5.5 is the black one that we cut out with our black cardstock. Also, this would be a lot of fun with any of the colored papers that I'm using tonight. And I am using the rainbow paper bundle, which is currently on sale. So if you haven't scooped this paper pad up, I'll show it to you in 1 second. I definitely recommend it. I've used it for baby invites. I've used it for all sorts of things. 4th of July, I love the teal and the navy blue in it. Really pretty. Okay, we're gonna push the black cardstock away. The next thing you're gonna do to create your shadow box is you are going to run these 2 through your die cutting machine together. So again, the one with my black cardstock is the largest, the 5.5 by 5.5, and then I'm taking the second 2 to create the framework for my shadow box. So once you've ran those through your die cut machine, you are getting 2 cutouts. You are getting your frame piece, and you're getting this inside piece here, and you're gonna be using both pieces. So this becomes our framework, and we're gonna flip that over, and we are just going to add pieces of leftover foam from all of your little foam refills that you get with your kits. And I always say store that. I keep mine, where's my bag? Here it is. I keep mine in a big Ziploc bag. So I just literally reach down, grab what I need out of this, and I'm good to go. You can also, I used to actually have it in a bin, but now I literally like it right next to me where I create. So that is how I did this. Like I said, we're creating 2 tonight. So I've got 1 frame done. Set that up here, and I'm gonna finish off my 2nd frame. So I've done 2 pieces. And this is all gonna be covered, so you don't have to completely worry about it being perfect. One thing that I do recommend is keeping that really nice straight edge on the outside edge of your frame. So in case it is seen on the side of your card, you don't really have to worry about it being all jagged and showing your cut line. So what I do is I literally just lay it here, and then I kind of just snip it. I don't kind of snip it, I totally snip it. Peel that up. I see you guys are having way too much fun out here. Hello, everybody. Are you guys all having a good time chatting? Thanks for joining us, Ginger. Wow, we got Ginger 2 weeks in a row. That's very special. Okay, I'm gonna take my next piece here and again do the same thing. Since we're not creating a shaker, you don't have to worry about little gaps. It doesn't have to be super perfect, just as long as your pieces fit together. And there we go. Peel that off. And now I've got 2 frames created for my 2 shaker cards. And what I do here is I am leaving the stitch. The stitch is kind of my guide here. I don't know why I'm saying kind of 100 times. The stitch is my guide, and I'm putting my double-sided foam past the stitch. So I'm not going totally up to the edge for my frames here. Okay, so now that I have step 2 done, so step 1 was my black cardstock. So I have 2 of these created. Step 2 are my frames, now with my double-sided foam. So step 3, you're gonna take that inside piece left over, so this inside piece here, when we doubled up our 2 pieces, take that inside piece, grab your little mister, and I give it, I probably do about 3 squirts, which is really weird. So I kind of mist it in the air. I'm not gonna spray it here so I don't get my desk wet, but I literally do a couple mists, and did you like my mist sound effects? I know, crazy, the skills just coming out of the woodworks. So, and I kind of fan my paper. After I mist it, I place it in my embossing folder. And what I love about this is I hold this up and I make sure some of them are very symmetrical, very straight lined. So I make sure it's nice and even. So you can see right away before you run that through exactly where your hearts are gonna be, or whatever design of your embossing folders you are going to use. So I am simply running that through my embossing folder with my die cut machine, and then voila. And obviously you need to follow whatever sandwich instructions for embossing folders for your particular die cut machine. So now that I have my 2 black pieces cut out, my 2 frames, and my 2 inserts. Oh, and I promised to show you the paper pad combination, which again, just letting you guys know, this is on sale tonight. Let me move that out of the way. So this is a rainbow paper bundle. Do check it out. Again, these are some really great colors. This blue here I've used for 4th of July, and it is perfect. And I love that teal. So these 3 paper pads are on sale together as a bundle. Check that out. These are also great for your bows because you get really nice front and back colors that really go well together. So if a little bit of my pink paper on the back is exposed, it looks really nice. So here is a look at these bright, vibrant colors. And this one is the tone on tone petite patterns. Then you have Delightful Dots, which I love because it has the tone on the tone with the big dots, and then the cute little white polka dots on the paper as well. So again, it's that same bold color palette. And then you have the stripes. So again, you got the tone on tone stripes at a diagonal, and then these really cool white and colored stripes as well. Okay, excuse me. So those are the three paper pads that I'm using tonight, as well as the black and white cardstock. Also, foundation die number 16. And we are also using the Love Sentiment Stacker, which you see here. And I've got a little sample. So I am going to be using the foam, so the neutral foam pack. If you've never used that before, this is how much white I have left to show you how much I love my white. But what this is foam on top and adhesive on the back. And you can run this through your die cut machine. So it also gives it a nice lifted, so you can see the dimension here versus just paper. So it's a nice dimensional way to do your sentiment stackers. And in that you get white, gray, black, and then there's also the glitter foam. So that would be really cute as well with the white glitter foam, but I wanted to keep it very black and white with a touch of color for these cards. So there you go, guys. And that is the Love Sentiment Stacker. And in this kit, you get a great little coordinating stamp set and then the 6 stacker dies, which is Heart, Couple, and Love. Okay, moving on, everybody, moving on. I've got a lot of things to tell you about. It's very exciting. We are also using the Beautiful Bow Foundations. So here is a put together kit of your bow foundations. And I, before the holidays, went through and showed you all of the bows. But tonight we are going rogue. So I've created bows kind of mix and matching, so not exactly following the order of how they go together. And I highly recommend doing that. I mean, as crafters, we're rule followers with a hint of rule breaker. You know who you are. I know you're out there. I too was that girl in class going, how can I do this differently than the teacher? So a really fun thing to do with your sentiment dies, with your bow dies, multitasking, brain working, barely, with your bow dies is to mix and match. And what I mean, so for instance, the bows that I'm using tonight, I created with the bow ends of number 1 and then the bow loops of number 5. And here is another one that I comboed, and I actually used the bow from number 2 and then the tails from number 5. And then instead of having the tails pop down on the bottom, I actually cut them off and glued them to the ends of my bow. So again, have fun with them, mix and match. Obviously, you've got the fabulous guide if you want to put them together how they come. But I also recommend going rogue, right? Have some fun. So here are the 3 bows. You guys saw the first sample that I'm creating, and then we're going to do a pink sample. And I'm just going to go ahead and add some rolly adhesive. I definitely recommend when you have like a textured paper like this using red liner tape, but I am going to use my rolly adhesive because I didn't prep my red liner tape. So therefore, we're cheating. And I'm going to center this first. I tried a couple different ways, but I'm just going to kind of eyeball center this piece. Then we're going to add our frame. So next I'm going to take this guy, and I'm okay if a little bit of the black shows up because that adds to that really cool look of the shadow box. And if this is something that you are maybe not going to use as a card, but you're actually going to create a cute little frame, You can even double up on your foam and make it thicker. So we always love options, don't we? Now I am going to eyeball this as well. You know, there we go. Push that down, and now we have the base of our shadow box. Oh gosh, I think there's like actually stuff on my lens. So sorry, how embarrassing. I can't clean it now. We're just gonna finish it up. Oh, it went away. Maybe it was a glare. Okay, never mind, just kidding. I'm all trying to clean off my camera lens. Terrible. Okay, there's your shadow box base. Pretty simple. If you head to the Foundation Die 16 and you check out the cards, Greta created a really nice card with the 4 butterflies using this exact technique. So really fun, really simple. And with this one, I'm just gonna do my red bows. So I created these guys already, and I'm gonna get into a little bit more bow making with my pink one, but you can simply, and again, this is the loops of number 5 and the tail of number 1 to create these 2. And I didn't put the center pieces on because I'm gonna be adding some pearls. So in the sample that you saw for this live, I just simply centered them just like that and added the little love. You can also go down at an angle. You can really have a lot of fun with it. So I think for the second one, I'm gonna do this little angle technique instead. And what I did to the backs of all of these is just added a little strip of the 1/8 inch red liner tape. And now I'm putting my finger on one side and pushing it down with my fingernail, and that makes it easy to get the back up. And now I'm gonna just go over here and add my bow. You've got the hearts to use as your guide to get them somewhat straight, pushing them down with my fingernail tool. You can always come in if you flatten out one of your bows and you can round it up again. Or if you want them to be flatter, if you want them to be the actual width of your base here, you can even squish them and flatten them out. And they still look adorable. So again, fingernail tool, peel that off. And this is going to be my center. So I am gonna go right about there. There we go. I will look at this away from myself later and be like, oh my goodness, that's so crooked. That's so typical of me. Okay, there we go. That looks about right. Push those down. And then we're gonna do our third bow. Simply use your fingernail tool to push that down so the adhesive stuck, so it's much easier to get the backing up. And I am going to drop this guy right down there. And now I have my third bow. Push that down with your fingernail tool and you've got your adorable little shadow box. Again, if you want to pop these up, you can do so just like that. And I am going to add a little rolly adhesive to the back of my love. Everyone's love needs a little rolly adhesive. Pop that down. And then we are going to take our fabulous, excuse my arm. I put my pearls really far away. I popped them off so I could show you a really fun finishing touch. Instead of using that centerpiece, you can use your pearls. You can use your epoxy dots. Really adorable. That pearl adds like such a beautiful finishing touch. I do have a sneak peek for you guys. For those of you that have stuck around, we have these beautiful epoxy dots that will be available, not epoxy dots, they're epoxy hearts. See, it says it right there. Epoxy hearts, Demo Donna. These guys will be available on Thursday. Woohoo! So we've got the pink, the red, the orange, the yellow, the green, the blue, the teal, the purple, and the black, which just look awesome. I love them. I love the different colors, the different color ranges, the different sizes. They've all got this beautiful monochromatic color scheme, which is just gorgeous. So I will be using these on Thursday night. There are 9 sheets total in this bundle, 40 per sheet, a total of 360 beautiful hearts. So there was my sneak peek. I hope you guys loved it. Okay, for this guy, I am gonna add our brand new epoxy dots. I love that they're transparent because look at that. You can actually see the hearts right through them. And I am gonna go, oh, decisions. It's sometimes so hard to make these types of decisions for your, I think I'm gonna do 1 and 2. Who knows? Or you can even go on the 3 corners. I think we're gonna do that. And maybe this guy. And I think we're just gonna do a little guy down there. I'm sticking with that. I like it, kind of simple, basic. I like a very simple, clean look with this shadow box. I'm sure you guys have noticed. They're all very simple or they're really busy. So I guess it's either way. However you like it. Go bananas. Okay. Card number 1. Card number 2, same concept. I'm gonna add my hearts. You know, I mean, I could have mixed things up and done stripes for you or circles, but no, I'm keeping them exactly the same. Wah, wah. It's up to you to switch things up, everybody. Okay. Peel off. I love all of the comments. I have no idea what most of them are meaning at this moment, but I will go back and read them all. It seems like you guys are all having a blast and having your side conversations, which is super fun. Nothing like an interactive, live Queen and Company Tuesday event. Woo woo. Okay, center in that piece. Drop that down, shadow box base, and you could see you've got a clean edge there along the sides, which is nice. Okay, for this one, we're going pink. So I am going to use the fun little zigzag bow, the striped bow. And then we are gonna do this one differently. And this is the number 3. And I'm actually using everything for number 3. And now that I've been making bows, you know, for as long as they've been out and playing around with them, I do have a couple additional tricks. So I do like to curl them, which I know I've mentioned before. But also I've added right in there a little piece of red liner tape. So I'm going to peel that off, and I am going to use that to stick my bow down just because it kind of works quicker. And I'm going to take a second little piece. I do absolutely, I am pro glue for your bows for sure, but I think a combination of the glue and the red liner tape works really nice too. So I've got piece number 1. With this one, they overlap. With some of them, they actually meet in the middle. Like this is bow number 5, the larger ones that I used. And I've got my little piece of red liner tape in there. I'm going to take my fingernail tool and peel off the backing. And then these two actually meet in the middle, so you only need 1 piece of red liner tape for that. So you could see the difference where this one overlaps and this one meets in the middle. Now I glue this side down. So this side where they meet in the middle, I flip that over and I glue that down to my base here. Why don't we just do it instead of me telling you about it? It's always better to actually see what I'm talking about. So I add a little craft glue drop that down, center that, and then the bags and bags of tiny little clothespins, you know, that I had fabulous ideas from, are perfect to help your glue your little bow dry. Okay, back to this guy. I am now going to take the little base here, add a little adhesive, grab another cute little clip, the clothesline clip. I'm sure it has a, I'm sure I'm messing up whatever this thing is really called. Clothespin, right? Clothespin? I think so. All right, now I have my little bow drying. I am going to take my little guy here, and I actually curl that too. Even though I'm going to curl it even more, I give it a little curl. Again, I'm going to use my red liner tape. So I am going to take a couple little pieces, and I am literally cutting out tiny little pieces, like maybe a 1/4 of an inch. Okay, now that that's nice and dry, I'm going to slap down that little red liner tape. I thought it would probably be fun for you guys to see putting a whole bow together. For those of you that purchased the bow foundation dies and have not yet created one, I know you're out there. I know all of you Queen & Company collectors are out there. So there we go, wrap that around. So I put the little red liner tape, wrapped that around, and then what I do is I actually go and pop that back up. And while I'm doing that, I'm pushing my adhesive down too. So I'm giving a good little roll here, popping up that center piece and making sure that paper is nice and tucked in to the lovely adhesive. So there are my 2 little bows here. I'm going to flip this guy over. Excuse me. Add another little strip of red liner tape. Go right across here. And I like to make sure I'm getting both ends adhered together, just in case one of them decides to go rogue and pop off. I'm making sure he is locked in there. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, I actually use my little scissors, and I'm pushing that down just so I can pick up the end of my double-sided fabulous red liner tape. So making sure you always have a base, like my scissor tool in there, anything like your finger tool, making sure you have a base makes it really easy to take the backing off. So I am going to quickly go through and grab the back of all of my red liner tape. See, with here I can use my finger as my base there. There we go. Okay, so with this one, I am going to lay them out a little differently. I'm going to go in the top center here. That looks close enough. Push those down. There's your one. I'm going to do 2 little bows. So you can like gently set these down. Your red liner tape is really just going to adhere once you push it down. So once I'm happy with my location, then I'm going to push those down and then add my 4th bow. There we go. And now I've got my cute little pink bows. Take my love. So when you go ahead and you cut out your foam, which is adhesive back, which is fabulous, I just gently, be really careful when you're pulling this out because you don't want to stretch out your word. As you could see, the foam actually like can stretch and move and get a little distorted. So I try to be pretty careful when I'm taking it out and when I'm popping out these little guys, just so it still fits how it's supposed to in its beautiful little nested backing. There we go. And I am going to, again, just flip that over. Add my love on the side. A little love on the side. There we go. And now, decisions. Oh, we got to add our pearls. So I am going to just pop the pearls in place for the top one and the bottom one here. There we go. And for this one, oh, I don't even know. I think I'm just gonna go, do, let's see. I'm just laughing at myself because I'm sure we all have like our thing with cards. For me, when it comes to embellishing it, that's always like there's so many possibilities. Sometimes it's just hard to choose. And I'm just gonna keep this one simple with a little pearl cluster right here. And there are our 2 shadow box cards. A lot of fun dimension. You could see you've got the foam, the bows, your actual shadow box. You've got the texture from your embossing folder, which I love. It adds just that little subtle, it's not like over hearted out. So really cool. Again, I absolutely think you guys should have fun and mix and match your little bow tails and your actual bows and play with them. And you know, at first it takes a little time to finesse and get the nice little poof that you want. But once you play with them for a while, or even just a few times, then you get in the groove, you get in the bow groove. So thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. I look forward to seeing you all on Thursday with our Endless Love add-on kit, as well as the beautiful epoxy beautiful epoxy hearts that I will get to use. And we used the Love Sentiment Stacker tonight, the rainbow paper, which is right over here, the rainbow paper bundle. I left one behind. I left the beautiful, oh gosh, okay, I've got to get it. I can't leave it behind. That just makes me so sad. There we go. Petite pattern, beautiful rainbow paper bundle, and the beautiful bow foundations. Thank you guys so much. Have a fabulous evening, and I will see you guys all on Thursday. Bye-bye.